Perfect.
Who better than Derek, Pat, Andrew, the wrestling crew? Man, they bout to put an end to y'all careers like a finishing move. They bout to give y'all facts on these cats that's fighting on these mats. Y'all can't see them like John Cena. Even if y'all had 20/20 vision, y'all better listen, pay attention, and take notes down and realize that it's not your time now. And watch these three kings take the crown. Hey, hey.
This is the Clockwork Angel Catred, and you're listening to Wrestling IQ 101.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of WIQ 101. I'm Andrew, along with Derek.
You.
And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And today we're sitting with the unpredictable Jay George. How's it going, man?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm sorry, unfortunately I'm a little bit sick, but I'm going to power through this.
Nice. We definitely appreciate you doing that for us, man.
Yeah.
I'm just fooling. I'm here live in the living color. Boy. The unpredictable Jay George here. Thank you guys so much for having me on. And I'm sure I fooled you all. You thought I was sick, but I have a clean bill of health. Clean, just like my conscience.
Nice. So, Jay George, what makes you unpredictable?
I get asked that question a lot, especially a lot of times from other wrestlers.
Yeah.
I think the best way for me to describe it is oftentimes just by showing it, because A, if I told you, then I wouldn't be as unpredictable. And B, I enjoy very much the spontaneity of what I can do when I'm out there performing. But for the most part, it's many ways. So for the most part, one of the biggest things I'd like to tell people is kind of just like it comes down to my versatility and my adaptability when it comes to wrestling, and the fact that I like to study and verse myself in a lot of different styles, which is good and bad, because throughout my life I've been a jack of all trades and a master of none, which kind of hurts me in the long run, because I feel like you should have one dedicated focus to something for optimal success. But I for now, I don't mind having multifaceted tools to my disposal, because it's helped me a lot. And that's just outside of wrestling as well. Like I have different skill sets in film editing, and then in acting and improv and all things of that nature. But when it comes to wrestling, it's the biggest thing is just my adaptability and the fact that I like to keep people on their toes.
Nice. So, speaking of unpredictable, I recently watched you cut a promo on Logan Black, and you were sitting in the tissue aisle of Walmart, and I'm going to kind of insinuate that you're kind of calling him soft as the tissue that you were sitting next to. So, I'm wondering, how do you come up with those types of things? You posted it on Twitter. You said you called him out for his hardcore credibility.
Oh yeah. That's right, in Walmart. I don't know. Yeah, I was so bad. Okay, so funny story about that is that was the day of that little nor'easter that we got him.
Yeah.
And the power in my house went out, and I got they were like, hey, can you send us another promo? And the power goes out, and I'm a late bird. Usually I'm a night owl, so I was like, you know what? Let me go to Walmart, because for some reason I felt really comfortable with the idea of going there, because they're always open, and I could always plug into stuff there and get some work done there. So I was in Walmart, and I was like, I'll bring my camera, and it just felt right. I was either going to film it at Walmart or at Wawa, and Walmart won. And the luxury of Walmart is they have huge aisles for toilet papers and dog food and diapers that you can build a little fort, and I built myself a little toilet paper fort, and that's where I cut my promo. Because I do fact, as soft as the toilet paper that I was sitting on.
Oh man, that's funny.
So, Jay George, you recently did an episode of The Flaming Table. How was that, eating all those wings and then cutting a promo on Felix?
I don't know. For me, the biggest hurdle of it was just like the biggest hurdle of it was the fact that they were vegan wings. They weren't actual wings, and I'm not a big connoisseur. Jeff likes to say, my tag team partner Jeff Cannibal likes to say, because I told him, I was like, hey man, I've never had vegan food before, and he's like, well, you've never had vegetables, and it's like, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, I guess, is vegan, right? But
I guess that's true, right?
so, yeah, he got me there, but the actual, where it comes to like those food that replaces what's supposed to be meat is a big mind, that messes with me a little bit. So that was the experience. I watched that back and I would have definitely eaten more of the wings had they been more actually meat, but Jeff is he's a vegan, so I gotta pay respect to that. But that was definitely an interesting experience, and I'll probably do it again. Why not?
Were you upset that you didn't win the $5?
The fuck that I didn't get my envelope in?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I had driven an hour in the chair and probably spent more gas, I wasn't upset because I was a coward. I think the rule of it was you're only supposed to have one drink, and then I finished my one drink and I had to switch to another one because it was too spicy. And that's the other thing too. I'm not a big spicy food guy, so he was like, "What's the hottest thing you've ever eaten?" And it was for me was flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like, oh yeah, that's like pretty hot, no? And you laugh at it, so I guess not. And then you have the wings, then you realize,
That's hilarious. So, speaking of being a jack of all trades, I saw that you do resumes for wrestlers as well. So I kind of wanted to just ask, what goes into a wrestling resume, and who do you present a wrestling resume to?
Okay, so I forgot who. Just early on in my career, just like anything else in a professional set of business. So hold on, real quick. I just posted a status that I was recording with you guys, and Steve Off commented with some weird. Okay, he commented with a weird gift, but let me just throw a quick shout out to Steve Off from Pro Wrestling Magic.
Nice.
But you know what? It goes full circle because maybe I should be sending him my resume.
Yeah, right.
I'm wrestling Magic again.
Yeah.
So the resume is basically the thing with that is it's just like any professional setting. You want to be able to have a list of your credentials and have a list of your experience and your credentials. The problem is a lot of people don't know how to format it or put in the right information, which is a lot of it was what went into going with my resume was having the most important information highlighted, and then I always include things like the seminars that I've attended, people I've worked with, like notable names, former WWE superstars, any top indie talents, guys that are on TV, anything like that to me always helps because it shows that you could be trusted in big match positions when you're in there with guys who have 20, 30 years of experience doing this. And then also the experience as to where you trained, what your mission statement is, what promotions you're in, what promotions you've wrestled for. And also, I think what's important is like having your skill set on there. Sometimes you might not be able to get on as a wrestler, but like for me, I've done every aspect of this business. I've been a ring announcer, I've been a commentator, I've been a manager. I can do all of that, and so I include things like that. I know how to build the ring. I know how to fix the ring. I'm bilingual. So anything like that, any pertinent details that can help you stand out from anyone else, I think goes a long way. But also the big difference, I think, with wrestling and a lot of other office jobs, so to speak, is the resume can help, and it definitely will. It definitely is a good look. But at the end of the day, you still have to show up, and I think that's the big part of it. Not just the resume will always get you hired, but I still think it's a great tool to have. And a lot of people have reached out to me to help me out, and I'm always happy to help other workers out and get their name out there because always, even if you're not able to attend shows, it's always good to be proactive and be doing something that's forward thinking, and that involves sending in resumes. And I think that's a big part of the business. Having a promo packet, and that's what I do. I send out my resume, I send out my a couple of YouTube links, and I send out my headshots, and hopefully that helps.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, you worked with our past guest, Matthias Glass. You wrestled him, and then the other thing I wanted to ask you about was the infamous 4-5 Club with you and him in it. Whose idea was that to get Matthias Glass?
I liked what Matthias is doing, and he's a good character to have. So at the time, I was trying to. I've been on YouTube for like 10 years, but I've been pretty much since the beginning of YouTube, and I kind of miss the boat on it now because things are just, the system of it is so different. But I always wanted to have that as as something to build up. But the problem with YouTube is you got to devote a lot of time and effort into that to really have a successful channel to get build up viewerships and stuff. And I never had a focus on my channel, so I thought, well, I signed up for 5-4 Club because it was advertised on Cole Cabana's podcast so much that I was like, all right, I'll check them out. And plus, I needed new clothes, and I liked the idea of it. They send you a bunch of clothes for $60, and then you got to build up a little wardrobe, and it's like nice fashionable clothing. So I started doing YouTube reviews, and I figured, if I'm on the show, let me see if I can get some other workers involved and help build some intrigue. And Matthias is he's a good person to have on the, it was a good thumbnail to have a guy like that in his gimmick, and talk about the product. And that was a lot of fun doing that with them. And I've gotten to wrestle him a few times. It was a good experience.
Are you still a member of the 4-5 Club?
I'm not. It was too expensive after a while. So the problem with them was in the beginning it was awesome. I was like, this is great. I'll get 3 articles of clothing, and they were all tea clothing, some nice shirts, pants, and then down the line it just started. I don't know. It was just one time they started sending me some weird stuff that I wouldn't wear, and by that point it was just not worth the $60 a month. They actually ended up stopping the service and rebranding. Now they're called Manello Club or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but so I haven't been a member, but I did get some great clothes that I still wear to this day, and I have this jacket, and I cannot find it, and I hate when I lose clothes because I get attached to it sometimes, and now I can't for the life of me find this awesome jacket I got for them. It was a nice thin black jacket that was perfect for the rain and the snow. So good.
Yeah. When you said jacket, I thought you were gonna say the white jacket that you have on in your Michael Jackson inspired Thriller profile pictures that you have on your social media.
Yeah, that is literally my head imposed on the album, that famous Thriller album cover, because
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, man, so that's just a little flavor of the character of the personality side of the unpredictable Jay George, your boy Jay George. I like the idea of that rock star personality, and having so guys people like Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, Kanye West play a huge influence in what I want to be as a performer. Confidence, that poise, that grace, and that sensibility that when you walk out there, people know that you're a star. And I already have that. I do. I really do. So, and it's modeled after those titans of pop entertainment, pop culture entertainment. And a lot of times, it's funny because a year or so ago, a lot of people compared me to Prince and stuff. And this was before Velveteen Dream was really going full swing with his character. But I was never a big Prince fan. I could probably name 2 or 3 Prince songs off the top of my head. But I was always more of a Michael Jackson fan. And I thought that was I really that picture is one of my favorite things I've ever done because it encapsulates a lot of what I want to be.
Nice.
Yeah. So Jay George, a couple months ago, you got in the ring with Dan Moff. I mean, how was it, testing yourself against, the cornerstone of independent wrestling?
The Balaam badass. That was a good joke, man. I'll tell you this though. I took that match seriously. The minute I got announced for that match, I looked at that as one of the biggest matches of my career. I actually had a run-in with Dan Moss years ago when I first broke into this business 5 years ago. We were tailgating outside of WrestleMania 29, MetLife Stadium. My friend told me go up to Moss and cut a promo for him. And even back then, I was like, oh yeah, no, of course, Dan Moss, independent wrestling legend. And if I can get his seal of approval on my promo, then that's a great confidence boost for the future. So I started cutting this promo. Little did I know it was being ripped, and Moss essentially chokeslammed me onto the asphalt and slapped me in the face, and he picked me up and he told me to finish my promo, and I did. But I remember that day forever, and getting to be in the ring with him was an honor, and I want to do it again. I love the match, but I wasn't that happy with it in the sense that I wanted to do more, and I really want to push it next time. It was the first encounter, but I know next time we get in the ring, it's gonna be even better. And that was a great night for me because afterwards, Mom gave me the seal of approval, and Joey B of Warriors Wrestling was proud of me, which was a huge thing for me to hear from him. Yeah, man, I can't say it enough how much I look up to that guy and how much being in the ring with him means something to me, and I feel that because guys like him and Homicide's one of my dream opponents. All those guys, the Hit Squad, these guys that built up the New York, New Jersey independent wrestling scene. And even though I'm just saying New York and New Jersey, that scene had a huge impact all across the world, all throughout the world, and it shows with all the people that they wrestle and all the matches they've had throughout the years, and this resurgence they've had in recent years. And it shows with guys they've taken under the tutelage, guys like LAX and EYFBO, who are just absolutely killing one of the best tag teams on the scene right now. And a lot of that was because of the wars they had with guys like Homicide and guys like the Hit Squad. And I want to be part of that legacy just as much, especially sharing that Latin blood and representing New York City, man. That's big for me. And I'll be in the ring with Moss again soon. I'm far from done with Moss in the sense of I still have a lot more to prove with him.
Nice. Now, as far as guys that you haven't wrestled, that was going to be my next question. You kind of hinted at it with Homicide. What are some guys that you would like to get in the ring and wrestle with that you haven't wrestled with?
Homicide. Homicide's one of my biggest. That's one of my biggest dream matches right now. Him as well as the Terminator, Teddy Hart, the Controversy, the Torturer. These are nicknames fans came up for him because he destroyed the independent wrestling scene. I need to be in the ring with Teddy Hart because I feel like we both are on that wavelength of unpredictability and just craziness. And I really, really want to do something special with him. I want to push the envelope with him. I want to do something that gets people talking. And I feel like I still haven't built enough credential. I haven't built enough of my own name for a lot of promoters to want to take a shot on that match. But then again, Eric Jaden got a match with him, so what the hell? Nothing Eric Jaden. I love the guy, but no, man, screw that. That's the competitive side of me. If I see Eric Jaden in there with him, I'm thinking in my head, screw Eric Jaden, and if he's standing in my way of having a match with a guy like Teddy Hart, I'm going to do everything. I will step on Eric Jaden's toes. I'll politic. I'll get him off of shows. I'll get in the ring. I'll shoot on him. I'll do whatever. Because, screw that, man. No, absolutely not. It's unacceptable that he's wrestling Teddy Hart. I should be wrestling Teddy Hart. That goes for anybody out there. I need that match. And I almost had it last year. Unfortunately, Teddy had to go away, but he's back and he's in the area, and I need that match. I do. The Hart legacy must continue, and I want to be a big part of that. now. And there's a list of other guys, but those two are probably the biggest in terms of what I wanted. I think closer reach towards what I'm working towards. A guy like Rey Mysterio is a huge dream match for me as well, but that's down the line. But right now, my eyes are set on Teddy Hart and Homicide. If I can't pass that, I need to continue passing these tests, and those are two huge tests for me. If I can't pass that test, then I shouldn't be in wrestling. And I got my eyes on the prize with those two.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's pretty.
You guys been to a lot of shows, and I'm sure you guys have seen Homicide wrestle a lot of people. And I'm also sure you've seen Homicide take these guys to limit, and not a lot of people pass that Homicide test.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, the moment that match gets announced, Jay George versus Homicide, I will be ready for that test, and I will pass that test because I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not here joking around or nothing. Even though I do have a comedic side to me, which is a big misconception from a lot of promoters, but that's another story.
So, I mean, you know, from the Public Enemy, TJ Marconi being, you know, Good Times Only, and a very different Jay George with a microphone in the hand, how have you evolved from that, you know, and seeing his change?
What about me and TJ Marconi, the bookmaker?
Yeah, I mean, you guys wrestled, and now, you know, looking at you guys today, you guys have evolved. I mean, how was it facing him, and then how have you evolved from changing, you know, your persona, from, you know, having the megaphone and stuff like that?
I hate to say this because he is the public enemy number one, and he's a horribly dangerous wrestler, right? He shoots on people, like he does the ego drop. He should be arrested, right? That's what people are saying. I'll tell you this, though. Marconi actually kind of played a bit of a role in that evolution. I mean, he was, you know, like that match I did with him was a great moment for me because that was the match that kind of took me to the next level of Warriors of Wrestling because Joe was there watching that match, and Joe never really too much thought. Like I said, I started as a manager at Warriors of Wrestling, and there was never too much. I had to fight and scratch my way to get on that card and to do the things that I had done at Warriors of Wrestling. But that match with TJ kind of turned things over and kind of put me on that main roster and set me on the track, and it helped figure out who I am. But that evolution, it's a journey, man. I started off doing like a Fidel Castro character. At one point, I was doing that, and it was fine and everything, but like it wasn't who I truly was. And it's just something over the years I'm still figuring it out, to be honest with you. But I've just been kind of pushing through that, and recently, there's always been little things, right? So like once I realized, like, okay, wait a minute, I really like, you know, I'm really inspired by Kanye West. He's a very influential figure in my life. I really love Lady Gaga and what she means to pop culture, what she's done. I really love Michael Jackson, what he's done, you know, and I see how that influence affected a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura, who, if you watch his matches from like 5 years ago, before he was who he is now, like he was just just a strong style wrestler who wrestled in trunks and just looked like everybody else, and you know nothing wasn't there. But all of a sudden, he started following his influences. So that kind of stuff helps in the evolution, and like even my entrance, like you know, I copied it. I essentially copied my entrances from. I got the idea from Road Dogg's first entrance when he was doing the Double J gimmick when he used to sing "With My Baby Tonight."
Yeah.
After Jeff Jarrett left, then I was like, essentially my entrance, I like to say, is a mix of The Rock and R-Truth, because I think R-Truth has one of the best entrances in all of wrestling ever.
Yeah, definitely. So, as long as you've been wrestling, you come across a lot of seasoned wrestlers. What's some of the best advice that you have received, and from who?
I've been fortunate to have done a lot of seminars, ranging from guys like Dean Malenko, Jamie Bygod, Noble, et cetera. But Jamie Noble, for some reason, he stood out to me. There's one line he said, and it was, everything is in wrestling. And that kind of really, it sticks with me to this day, you know. And I actually I have a notebook of stuff that I always write down from seminars, but that's probably one of just like the best things I've ever heard. Tommy End, before he left for NXT, became Aleister Black, was given like kind of an impromptu seminar in the locker room, and he said, think globally. You know, it's a small thing, but think globally. Don't worry about these small local independent shows. Think globally, and that's resonated with me very well. So I think I would say those two are probably some of the most profound things I've heard in wrestling, because it kind of there's a little bit, but there's a lot going on there, and it kind of puts a lot of things into perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Jay George, you're unpredictable, but you've also really faced a wrestler who is also unique in his own way, and that's Sonny Kiss. I mean, how do you prepare for a guy like him?
That sounds just like him.
I love it. Me and Sonny for a while had a little bit of a. We were, when I first saw Sonny, I was like, he's someone I want to have a match that I could like take to different places with, because I just love his athleticism, and he's another person who's just had this amazing, just like the ability to draw people into him, and I've seen it firsthand in locker rooms, in the way just like I've seen so many superstars and legends and stuff just instantly gravitate towards Sonny. So that was always a match made in heaven for me, and I loved wrestling Sonny. We've been up and down the roads together. I don't know, it didn't take too much to prepare for him, because I was just so eager and excited to do it, and I knew what I could do with Sonny, and just watching him evolve throughout the years, it's been awesome, because I was actually I kind of take credit for Sonny Kiss. No, I don't, but like I wrestled Sonny at a taping. It was his first year, one of his first matches, and then that kind of helped start a wave of momentum for the both of us. So I got nothing but great things to say about wrestling Sonny. And does it take? Do I have to do a lot to prepare for Sonny? No, not much, because I think I have. It's pretty. I know I can understand where Sonny's coming from, and it's easy to go with that wave.
Yes, a match made in heaven for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you're.
And the thing is, in regards to that too, is like those matches we had were a couple of years ago. So like, what we could do now, I think, would blow that stuff out of the water. So.
Nice, definitely. So, what's your favorite match that you've had so far?
My favorite match?
Yeah, what's your favorite match?
I don't know, man. It's tough, because like I'll have matches where like I feel really good about them, and then like I'll go back and watch them, and then I'm just like, never mind. But that's just, I think that's just part of how things are. But I don't know, man. That's a tough one for me to answer. I feel like I'll say this. I had a tag match at this place, Rockstar Pro, in Ohio, and it was me and the Kid, Vinny Pacifico.
Yeah.
And we wrestled. I think it was a team called the Mavericks. It was Aaron Williams, and I'm forgetting his partner's name. That was one of my favorite tag matches. It was the main event of that show, and it was the guy who brought us into the promotion, Garrett Banks. It was his last night there. It was just a very emotional night, and it was just everything just clicked. It was just, I don't know. I really do adore that match. So I would probably say that's probably one of my favorite matches I've had so far. But I'm hoping to have another favorite match. I'm always looking to up that.
Nice. And I'll kind of do like a two-part to it, and I'll ask, who's your favorite opponent that you faced?
I like wrestling Darius Carter.
Nice.
Very easy. It's a hard-hitting match. It's very physical, and we're both, again, which is weird, because I'd say how like, me and Sonny are in the same level. That also applies, and this is the versatility I'm talking about, because like it also applies with Carter being hit, because like we both have a very similar sensibilities, and so Carter's definitely one of my favorite guys to wrestle with. Me and Vinny, we were gonna have a feud a couple years ago where and I really like the last match I had with him. I really enjoyed that match as well because we finally had quit, and we're both like very similar. Like after the match, we'll kind of have this depression about it, but like the last match we had, we both very much clicked. It was at Forza Lucha. That was another match I was pretty proud of, and that's another different type of match, those comedy matches. But we both we finally got in tune with each other to wrestle each other all up and down the East Coast. So he's another person I'd have to say is one of my favorite guys to get in there with.
Awesome, it's a good list.
So, Jay George, out of all the songs you could come out to, why would you rickroll the audience?
That was part of what, that evolution of it. Like, so before I did that, I used to come out to this like Beatles song from Abbey Road called "Because." And for those of you that aren't familiar with that song, it's like a very slow song, and it's like a chant, and there's no bass to it, and it's just like, it was just weird, and that's kind of what I was going for, I would do the slow entrance, and I would just stare at people, but I was like, all right, I did one show where I just went way too weird with it, so I was like, all right, I gotta find something, and you gotta see what's going on, what the trends are. Like, entrance music is very important, and people, we saw this like wave of like Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura and all these people that have these great theme songs that just add to their character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I need a song like that. I need a song that everybody that, either everybody knows or that most people everybody knows. And that song, because of the internet, because of the whole Rick Roll thing, kind of, it's a timeless song now. And not only that, but yeah, it fit my personality of like, people hear that song, they think of being trolled, and they think of being Rick Rolled, and I love messing with people, I love doing that stuff, so, I get to do that, so I get to troll people, I get to Rick Roll people with that song, but it's also, it's just a great song to come out with, because, man, I can sing it, and everybody knows the words to it, and everybody can sing along with it, so it's just a perfect song for me, and for me personally, it's a perfect theme song for me.
Nice. And so, keeping on the theme of being unpredictable, just recently you got to wrestle Super Crazy and Chris Stiller in a triple threat match. But can you kind of tell us just how it was to be in there with, the ECW Legend Super Crazy?
Oh man, that was also another fantastic experience. I didn't have it as it wasn't on top of my dream list, but here's the situation. I wasn't on the card. I wasn't even on the card for March for Wars Wrestling, and Super Crazy and Chris Silver were the match, and I told Joe straight up, I need to be in that match, and he said he was like, convince me, and I did, and I pitched it, and I think I don't know if that's a direct advice I got from anyone in wrestling, but I think that goes a long way in the sense of I always hear wrestlers especially on podcasts and stuff talk about how they would pitch stuff to Vince McMahon. And I think that applies for everywhere else. If a promotion tells you, hey, I don't have anything for you or whatever, give them something, And I haven't done that enough, and I'm starting to realize the importance of doing that. And I did it with that match. I was like, I need to be in that match. And because I'm bilingual, and because I have a Lucha Libre background, having trained in CMLL for a little bit, I was able to connect Super Crazy on a really good level, and I feel like that was able to translate in our match, and that's another one where it's like, oh man, I'd love to do a singles match with him. I'd love to do one more with him, and he felt like he was slowing down, but I think I could pull something else out of him should we ever get in the ring again.
Nice.
Yeah, that was an incredible match. I was there for that, for sure.
Absolutely, those two guys are there.
Yeah. So, when you started watching wrestling, who were some of the guys who inspired you to become a professional wrestler?
Are you ready for this? Because a lot of people are usually like, what? So I started watching wrestling around 1995. I stumbled upon Metro or whatever, but I've been watching for a little bit, on and off, because as a kid it was hard for me to grasp the ideas of a TV schedule. I didn't know I had to tune in at a certain time at a certain channel, but I was watching. It was either WWF Jacked or they would do recap stuff, and they were replaying a segment from Monday Night Raw where Kane was beating up the Brood, and that was an existential moment for me because the moment I saw that, I knew that wrestling was going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life, and that was pretty much what settled. I'll always credit Kane as the reason I think that I wanted to be a wrestler. As subversive as it sounds, but Kane without a doubt is like the reason I'm doing this to this day. As far as like influences, it's a huge list of guys throughout the years, and like it's either people I watched growing up, and then it's like you watch certain people growing up, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to be like that or whatever, but then you get into wrestling, and then you start looking at it from another angle, so then other people get in there. So like guys like Roddy Piper, Terry Funk, huge influences, and the Macho Man Randy Savage, Eddie Guerrero was another big influence. Chris Jericho, like that's Chris Jericho even more so as it became a worker. Like it just became so appreciative of what he does and how he does it. The Great Muta, Bruiser Brody, like it's a weird mix of guys, but those are definitely huge, some of the bigger influences I've had. Jake the Snake and Steve Austin, like I love watching their promos and studying those and how they deliver their stuff, and it's a big mix, but those are probably some of the biggest influences I've had.
Yeah, did you ever think about George? Did you ever think about quitting watching wrestling when Kelly left?
Did what?
Yeah. Did you ever think about quitting wrestling when Kelly left WWE?
No, I haven't, but I did have a student that quit that told me he stopped watching wrestling when Kelly left.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that in the past interview viewers. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I was considering doing the same because she's a hot shooter.
That was pretty surreal. I never thought I'd hear that sentence in my life, but there you go.
Oh man,
I was questioning it myself too. But,
Yeah.
Now with all the
I don't blame him, man. Especially if you watch her early stuff. I can see where they're coming from.
Being Jewish, we don't have a lot of hot Jewish female wrestlers, so yeah, I can see why people would leave.
What, she's Jewish?
Yeah, she's half Jewish. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now you've got me wondering what other female wrestlers there been.
that just sounds weird. What he just said though, he said she's half Jewish. I don't know how you can be half a religion. I don't get it.
No, it's true because like the way that works is like I know if your mother is Jewish, that makes you especially Jewish.
Yeah.
But if your dad's Jewish and your mother isn't, then you're not by religion. You're not Jewish.
Oh man.
That's a whole weird other thing. But I'm not going to get into. I myself cannot speak on Judaism. I don't know. I'm not too educated. I'm not educated enough on it to speak on it.
As a Jewish guy myself, she's done her people very proud.
Oh my goodness. So now, with your experiences, J. George, what advice would you give to someone that's just getting started in the business today?
Ease your mind, and your body will follow.
Nice, I like that.
Also, the big thing is to shut the hell up and the whole what's that they always say mouth shut, ears open. That definitely goes a long way. Until you get until you're comfortable, and then you can roam around and do stuff. But
Nice.
Don't let the emotions get the best of you. All right, I'm an emotionally charged person, and for years I mean, it's always been that thing I have to fight. Is like letting myself not be so emotionally charged and letting that kind of dictate my behavior, man. That's a big thing. Do not let your emotions dictate your behavior. You gotta take a step back and think things through. And I have to follow my own advice because it's gotten me in trouble a lot. But I used to have a bad attitude about stuff. I used to show up to some shows and just be upset when I find out I'm in a multi-man match instead of being grateful to be there and a show and I'm in a multi-man match or in a battle royal or whatever, I'm gonna make the most of it, you know, and I'm gonna keep pulling through.
Definitely.
Yeah, so Jay, you sound like you're a go-getter. What promotions do you think could benefit from a guy with your talent?
Dude, I'll say this. I'm going to shoot a little bit because, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, it just kind of, again, I love how I just did this whole, like, you got to think things through and don't let your as I'm about to say something potentially stupid, but if it gives you guys a sound bite, whatever. So, like, are you guys familiar with Battle Club Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to physically own that company. I want to own the rights to the name. I want to put that promotion on my back because I know it can. Right? Last year, I've done a couple of shots. I've been very gracious and I've been very fortunate that guys Carlos and Joaquin have taken a chance on my name and they put me on shows, especially when I tried to get on and I wasn't on the show. And they put. I've only done multi-man matches from them, but again, every time I've been on the shows, I've been one of the most over guys on that show. I've gotten one of the loudest reactions, more than anybody else on that show. And the last time I was in a match for them for Battle Club, I got eliminated from the match. The fans chanted no, and when I came out, I got a huge reaction. And I'm wondering to myself, if that's the case, if I'm getting this big a reaction, why the hell would you not capitalize on that and have me featured on your show? Why the hell, if you know I can get this big a reaction with your fan base, how the hell are you going to run 10 minutes from my house? Literally, I get a 15-minute drive from my house, and why wouldn't you have me on your posters? Why wouldn't you have me, why wouldn't you have me on the show? And look, this is not the time for me to be bashful. This is not the time for me to be humble. I'm hungry. I'm desperate. I need these opportunities that are given. I need to be in the locker room with the people that they bring onto these shows, and I'm not. I'm sitting at home while they're running 15 minutes from my house. When I know you put my face on a flyer, I'll go out. I'll flyer all throughout the town that I live in, all throughout the surrounding areas, and I will get people to come out to the show. And you know what? Even if they don't come out, the people that do show up, I'll get them to make noise, and I'll be over. And I know I can. I can do that 100%. And I haven't been getting that opportunity there. And I don't know what I have to do. I know it's missing. They tell me it's just a matter of when. He tells me he believes in me. Well, he's got to show me, man, because that's a promotion that I believed in. I've been rocking with them since day one. They're a great promotion. They do a lot of great things. I think it's cool that they bring in people outside of the area. They give people from other parts of the country a chance. But again, going back to what I say, Jaden, if they're standing in my way of getting my name out there, if they're standing in the way of me making money, then they can all screw themselves, man, because I belong on that card just as much as they do, if not more. I've earned that right. I've proven myself, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing sitting at home when they're running in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I might have to revoke their privileges. But also that Richfield Park area, I'm kind of worried about that place. I feel like 800 people running shows there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's got me a little bit fired up. But on a bigger scale though, I was doing stuff for CZW, like the Dojo Awards, and that's a place I need to show up more, and I'm looking to do that. That's a great place I think that I could fit into. Just any promotion, but like Shikara's another place. I did tryout/seminar there, and again, I'm looking to kind of take over this thing, man. I don't have a lot of time left, so to speak. So I need to make the most of it, and I need to get that ball back and rolling. It's tough because I'll get a little good wave of momentum. I'll do some cool places, but I need to keep it consistent, and that's kind of what I'm working towards now. And that's what I'm looking to, hopefully by the end of the year, kind of progress it to where I've had a way better year than the year prior, and so on and so forth, and keep climbing that ladder of success in independent wrestling. My goal it's a global takeover. It's not just these little promotions around the area. Hey, Battle Club doesn't want to use me; they're lost. But I'm looking to take, like I said, I'm looking to take this thing worldwide. I'm just getting started here, man.
Nice. You definitely can hear the passion. That's gonna lead me to this question. I want to know, like, what is your ultimate goal with wrestling, and what do you want to be known for?
Man, my ultimate goal in wrestling is, like I said, well, it's kind of what I said. I want to have that worldwide influence. You know, I want to make it to the big stage. As I'm watching this, I got Monday Night Raw on mute, and good old Kid Rock is getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And you know what? If he can do it, so can I. You know, so I'm either gonna write a badass theme song for like Baron Corbin or something one day, or I'll best be getting in the ring with him on WrestleMania stage. No, it doesn't have to be Baron Corbin, but no, I mean obviously WWE is a big goal of mine, right? That's a big dream. That's the dream, but like I wanna do what the guys I grew up watching did. Guys like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho. I want to wrestle all over the world, and I've hit Canada. I've trained in Mexico. I want to wrestle. I want to have an official match in Mexico. I want to do stuff in Japan, Germany. Like I said, man, you know, you can call me Pitbull after this because I'm going to be Mr. Worldwide.
Nice.
So, on the topic of singing, how did you find out that you have this ability to sing?
This what ability?
The ability to sing.
To sing? I do not have the ability to sing. I'm a horrible singer. Which I think makes the entrance all that better. But I don't know. I do love my share of karaoke. And yeah, I don't know. I used to do like I used to put out some music albums when I was in high school, kind of similar, like more so on the side of Weird Al versus Usher. You know, Usher I was not, but I was more like a Weird Al type thing. But like I don't know. I just love doing any. I'm a very vaudevillian performer, not to be confused with the vaudevillians, but I like the, you know, one of my big influences outside wrestling. Like I watched a majority of two things growing up: wrestling and Saturday Night Live reruns. So like I always admired, you know, guys. You know, when you see guys like Phil Hartman and Adam Sandler, Jimmy Fallon. Well, for like they can all like, you know, they would all do these skits where they sing and stuff, and they're song and dance men, which is what I want to do. You know, Andy Kaufman too. I didn't get to mention it. Plays a huge influence on me, not just for wrestling, but as a comedian as well. That's, you know, one of my biggest influences in life. So he, you know, he always described himself. I don't consider myself a stand-up comedian whatsoever. I do a lot of stand-up comedy shows, but I consider myself like a song and dance man, and I love doing bits, and I love getting immersed. I love messing with the audience. I love disturbing them. I love offending them. Not offending them on a political sense, so to speak, but like offending their sensibilities and like what they think is normal, and kind of subverting that, you know?
Definitely.
Which is like when I started the interview, I did the raspy voice, like I was sick, you know. But I should have pushed it, but like I like you guys. I want to give you guys a good interview, so I cut the crap.
Nice. Nice. We definitely appreciate that. And
so J. George, thank you for, you know, showing us a little bit into your world and letting us get to know you a little bit better. Where can people get you on social media if they want to connect?
Hey, first of all, thank you guys for having me on, and I want to say this, man. For a while, like, I was doing a lot of podcasts, and like I fell into the whole, like, everybody would ask me the same questions, and I appreciate you guys like kind of switching it up and switching that format up on me, because like, yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, if you guys came at me with the whole, so we're just start training and stuff, I would have hit you with some like real like weird stuff, like that's not true at all. But you can catch me on Twitter, Instagram. That's at jgeorge489. That's at jgeorge489. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, same name. You can look me up there. I don't know when this is coming out. Otherwise, I'd throw out some upcoming dates. But I mean, I'm around. You know, I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'll tell you a funny story just so like people have an idea. Like I did a WrestleMania weekend last year, and I showed up to the show. I wasn't booked on it, but I you show up, and they were having a battle royal. So I asked the promoter, hey, can I participate in this battle royal? And he's like, wait, let me see. There might not be enough time. I don't know. It might be late. And he essentially told me no. I'm waiting around, and like the show's starting late. Everybody's coming out together for the battle royal, right? I'm like standing there looking around. There's like 100 people in the locker room, right? I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna get in my gear and just do this battle royal. So I did it. And like I was like in the match, and nobody was any wiser to it, So like. Yeah, man, I'm starting to think like maybe I might start showing up at like these shows like Pro Wrestling Magic and just getting on the shows because why not? It's gonna stop me.
That's funny. Just get in every battle royal on every show. Nobody will notice.
Exactly, man. I gotta be careful though because there's that brotherhood in wrestling. I don't wanna just. That's the one reason I haven't actually done that yet because believe me, I've been tempted. But the biggest reason I don't is because I don't want to disrespect the other guys that are I don't want to take away their spotlight and mess up their stuff.
Yeah,
but,
true that.
Given the right opportunity, the right time, you never know where I'll show up. That's the beauty of independent wrestling.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Well, Jay George, thank you again for taking the time out. We are Wrestling IQ 101. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. Use the hashtag WIQ 101 and listen to us on the B Plus Player Network. We're out.
Peace. You have just listened to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, powered by B Plus Player Radio.